Okay. So before we start, I must say a few things. Today's topic is science related, okay? And because it's science related, for some of you who might want to further study about wants to become a scientist, today's topic might be super helpful for your career, okay? So let's read the topic out loud together. 1, 2, go. I heard only alien, and I couldn't hear the second word. What is that second word? What is the second word? Extra. So you break it into two. Extraterrestrial. Let's say it together. Extraterrestrial. 1, 2, go. Good. Extraterrestrial. I need to catch the ball. Extraterrestrial. So the question is, do you believe or do you think that aliens exist? Or extraterrestrial life? So it's a question we all have to ask ourselves. We have to answer it ourselves. So quickly, do you think aliens exist? Yes? Okay, she thinks so. Do you think aliens exist? No, she doesn't think so. Do you think aliens exist? Yes. How about you? No. No. Okay. You don't know? Okay, it's a better option. Do you think alien exists? Yes. Okay. How about you, buddy? Yes. Okay. I don't want to ask you why, because we're gonna find out the why and all from this class. Do you think alien exists? No. Okay. Now good. So it draws us to a huge competition because we have people who said no and people who says yes. All right. So in other words, it could be a debatable topic, right? Now, first we have to find out the meaning of the word alien. If you're asked what is alien or what's an alien, what would you say? What is alien? A creature, right? Good. A creature. Okay? A creature that what? You don't know. Who else have any idea? Alien. What would you say alien is? Good. A creature, she said, live on other planets. Now first, let's define alien, okay? You feel free to write down. So we're going to define alien in two forms. The first form is, we have to define alien as the main definition of alien. Then we're going to define alien as science, okay? What science think aliens are. So the first, alien is a person who lives in a country Okay. And then okay, so a quick explanation. I have to go this way because of time. Okay, I'm going to explain it step by step so that we can understand. Let me give you a few minutes to finish, a few seconds to finish up. Okay, now let's read. Alien, what is it? Want to go? A person or citizen of that country. Does it sound awkward? That's what an alien is. So, in other words, Kelvin teacher is an alien in South Korea. Yeah, I am an alien. Yeah, don't look at me like that. I am an alien. Yeah, I am a big alien. Big alien. So that's what the definition of an alien is. So if you are living in a country outside of your country of origin, and in that country you live in, you don't have a citizenship, you are an alien there. So in Korea, I have a card. Oh, I don't have my wallet. I should show you. I have a card. That card is called ARC card, or ARC card. That ARC card stands for A here is for alien, R here is for registration, and C here is card.
What?
Yes, alien registration card. That's what I'm using to stay in Korea. Yes, because I am not Korean national. I am also not a citizen here. So, but for Koreans, what they use is social security, right? Right. That is called social security card or social security number. But for foreigners or any other foreigners you see around living in Korea legally, we stay here legally, right? But we are not national, so we have alien cards. So we are alien. So in the future, some of you might become aliens too. Because in the near future, some of you might travel to US or Canada or anywhere to study more. So when you go there, you become an alien. And some of you, after coronavirus, might also want to take a trip abroad. When you travel abroad, outside of South Korea, you become an alien in that country. So that's the simple definition of what alien is all about. Now, let's talk about alien according to science. Let's read it out loudly. Everyone, want to go? Is an science is an extraterrestrial life
that may exist or may have existed in the universe outside the Earth.
Now let's take a look at this word may exist or may have existed. Okay? May exist or may have existed. So in English, when you see the word may simply means probability. Probability means something is not sure. We are not sure if it had existed in the past or if it is existing somewhere else right now. Okay? So scientific definition of alien is still under probability. They are not sure if there is actually an alien or not. So that's why they use the word is an extraterrestrial. And then extraterrestrial simply means extra here refers to any object or being beyond. Okay? So extra means object. And of course, you know, object, this could be an object. This could be an object. Okay? So extra, the word extraterrestrial is from two words, extra and terrestrial. Okay? So when we put it together, it becomes extraterrestrial, right? So the word extra is any object or being beyond. Now, objects, we know what objects are, right? The question is, what is being beyond? Being beyond are being, like we have human being, right? Being beyond are being something that looks like human, but they are beyond human comprehension. They look human, but they are not human. So that's what being beyond are. For example, I'll give you an example of what being beyond is. Have you heard about the word mermaid? Mermaid inside of the ocean. Something that has fish leg and human body. That's a good example of being beyond. So let's take, for example, this weekend, you decide the weather has become much better, right? The weather is becoming warm, and your family decides to take a trip to Busan at Hyundai Beach, okay? And you got there in the middle of the night, around 12 midnight. Suddenly, you just went to look around, and suddenly something sprang up from the ocean, from the beach, and you can see here is human, and the leg is fish, and the thing dives back into the ocean. What will you do? You would run away, my shame. So that's an example of being beyond. They look human, but they are not completely human. Okay? So that's what extra is talking about. And then terrestrial simply means the planet, something that is outside of the earth. Okay? So we know that we have how many planets? How many planets do we have? Around 9, right? 8 plus the earth, right? So now let's count them. You remember Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus? Tell me more. Mercury, Mars, yeah. So all of those planets are saying they are all extraterrestrial. They are not in the earth. Something that is outside of the earth, okay? That exists in a different planet outside of the earth. So that's what extraterrestrial is talking about. So when we say science is an extraterrestrial, science says alien is an extraterrestrial life, meaning that object or being beyond that exists not on the earth, okay? That may exist, it could be true that they are existing, or may have existed in the past. In the universe outside of the earth. So those things does not exist on the earth. They existed, aliens existed before or may have existed before. Alright? So that's what aliens, according to science, is saying. So with this definition, it shows simply that science have not come out with a concrete or factual fact that there is alien. So it is still under speculations. Okay? Speculations are, we think, maybe there is alien, maybe not, there's alien. In fact, before this class, I had searched through YouTube to find scientists with concrete evidence to prove that there is alien. Most of them says, we saw a light when we traveled outside the moon. We saw light and we tried to capture it. It was too fast. And then when we zoomed, it looks like alien. Okay? Now that being told, let's answer the first warm-up question. Do you trust science or your instinct? So based on everything I've explained so far, do you trust science or your instinct? Science is what I've just explained, and your instinct is saying yes, there is alien, or no, there is no alien. So right, if you trust your instinct, why? If you trust science, why? And then standing on that, the second question is, ask me a question.
I don't know about the meaning of question.
The first question is, do you trust science? According to alien science, the definition I've given you, do you trust this or your instinct? Instinct is your mind. What is your mind saying about alien? Do you get it? What is your mind saying about alien? Is your mind saying, oh, there's alien somewhere? Or your mind is saying, no way, there's no alien? Now the second warm-up question says, if alien existed, that's a past tense, Hagok. If alien existed, would you assume they are technologically ahead or beyond or behind human beings on the earth? If alien actually existed, do you think that they are technologically ahead of us? Meaning, that question simply means, look at me, that question means that if alien actually existed in the past, are they technologically ahead of us? Alright? Meaning that they have more technology than the human beings, than the earth right now. Or are they technologically behind us? That's the question. Okay? Now, to attempt to answer this question, there are 3 questions I prepared you have to look at. Those 3 questions are questions to consider. Questions to consider before you answer this question. Consider for warm-up 2. Here are the questions to consider. First question to consider is, what are the basic requirements? What are the basic requirements for life? For human life? Question 2 to consider before you attempt that question is, could life actually arisen elsewhere? In the solar system. And question 3 to consider is, are there other planets like Earth where life exists? Or where life exists. So in order to attempt this second warm-up question, we have to answer these questions. The first one is, what are the basic requirements for life? So for life to exist in a planet, what do people need, or what do humans need to survive? Number 1, we need water, right? Number 2, we need oxygen, which is air, to breathe, right? Number 3, we need what? We need water, oxygen, and food to survive. Now, with the scientific research and observations so far all over the world, is there any scientific proof that there is water, oxygen, which is air, and food exist anywhere outside of the Earth? Is there any planet that have water, food, and air? Any other planet apart from the Earth? Is so? You don't know. So the basic requirement for life is water, food, and air. Second, could life have actually arisen elsewhere in the solar system? So this question is it possible that there is life, there are people living in other planets aside human beings? Is it possible that there are people living in any other planet aside human beings? And then the third one is, are there other planets like Earth where life exists? So now, remember, this is scientific proof. Science have told us that right after COVID, coronavirus, that there is a new virus that will come on the earth, and that virus is going to be very dangerous. In fact, that so many people will die. It's going to be more dangerous than COVID, right? Now the question is, if a new virus comes to the earth that is more dangerous than COVID, okay, do you think everyone would want to die? No. Some people would want to run away. Now the question is, if they run away, where can they run to? Some people who are very rich, like the rich people, have jets, private jets, they have rockets and all of that. Some of them would want to try to exist and live outside of the earth, right? They might want to go to a different planet to exist. Now the question is there any planet that all humans who are able to survive from the thing that the science says that is coming upon the earth, is there any planet that we all can run away and go and live and exist outside of the earth? No one knows. And even science have not told us if there is. Because if there is any planet people can exist and live outside of the earth, maybe right now, with the way people are living, some people would want to run to those planets to exist. Okay? So that's the question that we need to answer before we attempt the second one more question. And then there is no study about aliens that wouldn't talk about UFO. You don't know, what is UFO? What is UFO? Unidentified flying object. Okay? Now let's take a look at a little bit of the things that UFO saw that made them think there is alien. Okay? So let's take a look at list of alleged extraterrestrial life as discovered by UFO. UFO means unidentified flying object. So what did UFO discover? The first thing they discovered was flatwood. This flatwood, they called it monster. And these monsters were tall, hominoid with spade shape. Spade-shaped head. And the second thing they discovered was I'm sorry, okay? Let me just finish this one and then I can go.
Yeah, let's go.
So that's where we have to finish today, okay? This topic is broad. Hominoid are non-human creation. With human characteristics. So this is where we have to finish up today, okay? So these three things are what UFO found out in their discovery. Okay? So that's all for today. Thank you guys. It's a huge and complex topic.